Hi to you and your fur babies. I hope you're doing well and you are excited like us because this is our weekly show and I just can't believe it's like every week we do a show. It's getting closer and closer to one of the biggest events, the biggest event for 10 years.
The big show, yes.
How are you doing, Jen?
Thank you, Vasi. I am great. How are you is the question.
Doing well. I'm very excited about, us getting together as always. And beyond really thrilled about our special guests this episode. Like, incredible. I'm dying. I love
it. It's very exciting, Vasi. Thank you very much for making it possible, folks. As you come on in, hit that share button. It doesn't cost anything to share. Share us in some of your pet-loving groups. Share us on your page. Share us on Facebook and on Instagram if you can. Thank you, Vasi. Today, like you said, we have a really great show because if this isn't the personification of charity and couture, then I don't know what is. This is really this is an exceptional show where we have some incredible supporters. They're not new. You've seen them already. Sisters of the Traveling Vests, and we are going to definitely get into, for those that don't know, if you've been living under a rock and you don't know what they do and what one of their main mantras is, we're going to show some of their incredible sewing skills. If you've been to Paws in the City or if you've watched the replays on the Paws in the City Facebook page, you know that Sisters of the Traveling Vests has had a scene in the show for several shows now. And in the true form, the way Paws in the City has evolved, their designs, the Sisters of the Traveling Vest designs have evolved. But before we get into that, we have a new special guest. So we should always, say guests first. So thanks to Sisters of the Traveling Vest, we have a wonderful advocate and ally with us. Mitzi, if you could please tell us a little bit about, for those that don't know, please tell us about how you came to rescue. How did you fall down the rescue rabbit
hole?
Yes. What happened? How'd you get here?
Yeah. I had worked with another rescue, a min pin rescue years ago, and had a couple of, an adoptee and then a foster fell from there.
Okay, now forgive me for cutting you off already. Tell us why min pin? Why miniature pin? I
just was interested in the breed. I had previously had Akitas and showed a little bit. And decided I went from Arabian horses down to Akitas, down to min pins. I just kept getting smaller and smaller because they're easier to deal with.
You buried the headline there. Wait a minute. You've got it now. Now you're really gonna have to come back. Now you've really done it because you wait. You said you went from Arabian horses.
Yes, I used to train and show Arabian horses many years ago, and then when I got out of that, then I went into dogs and I showed just a little bit, but that just wasn't for me really. And there were more pets than anything, and so then when the Akitas got to be a bit much, it was so much easier to put half a dozen min pins in the car and go. You don't need a truck and trailer, and you don't need 2 or 3 crates. You just toss the little ones in the car and take off.
Right. So it was size, because needless to say, Arabian horses, they were the most high maintenance.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. And then you went down. Okay. So I'm sorry. So please, I so rudely cut you off, but you can't open. You can't open with that and then just leave that alone. That was too much. That was too juicy. So from the min pin
in the process, I'm sorry.
So from the min pin rescue,
right, I was just interested. I'd always been interested in Chinese cresteds. I thought they were gorgeous, but I had no idea where to go. And so I started watching Pet Finder, and I saw the first crested that I was interested in. So I became her forever foster mother. And she was already about 13 or so when she was surrendered. And she came to me. I thought I was just going to foster her. And the next thing I knew, I was being referred to as her forever foster. So I said, well, Mika, I guess you're here to stay.
I love it. And hey to everyone watching. Thank you for sharing the video. Hey, Linda. Hey, Tina Lakey. Hey, Team Camilla Rose. So, okay. And so for the min pins and the crested, you had always kind of had a itch, if you will, that you wanted to scratch with that. And
right.
If we could just if I could just have you digress for one more second, because what do you think from a rescuer's perspective? What do you think of Pet Finder? Because I often find myself referring people to Pet Finder, and I just wanted to make sure that what do you think of it in terms of a reference tool for people looking to adopt?
Yeah, I think it's a good resource because I like that you can go in there and you can search by breed, by location. You know, you can set the filters to be within your parameters, however far you can travel, or, you know, not. Some people want a dog from their town.
Exactly. So for those who don't know, we're referring to a website called petfinder.com. petfinder.com. And what's really great about it, as Mitzi said, is you literally can find a rescue. If you want a Yorkie with 2 legs and 3 teeth that is not good with children, you
can go to True and
all
Faithful.
those filters. Exactly. You can put all those filters, and Pet Finder will show you who in your area falls under those characteristics. Are they good with children? Are they not good with children? Are they good with dogs? Are they not good with other dogs? Are they good with cats? Are they not good with other cats? So please, folks, bank petfinder.com in your mental Rolodex, because it's a really great resource to find and connect with fur babies looking for forever homes. Absolutely true. From reputable and good rescues and shelters. And that's important because goodness knows there aren't a lot out there. So that is really, really key. So Sisters of the Traveling Vest, and for those who don't know, Sisters of the Traveling Vest has been with Celebrity Catwalk and Paws in the City now for several years. For those that don't know, Sisters of the Traveling Vests they are not a rescue, but they are like the ambulatory legs, if you will, to rescue. How do you think dogs and cats and fur babies get to rescues, get out of shelters, get off the streets? There need to be people who are able to facilitate the process of getting fur babies in need of homes to places that can act as way stations. I like to refer to them as the Underground Railroad of the shelter system, because you need to have a way to transport them. And let me do this plug now. If you head over to the Sisters of the Traveling Vest page, they are currently running an auction. So even if you don't want to do an auction, even if you just want to donate, even if you just want to buy something and bring it and throw it on the Paws in the City raffle table, you can do that. But let's help them get their van, because they can't do things without their van, and their van needs repairs. And I'm sure I don't need to tell anyone about automobile repairs in 2023. So it's kind of a tough pickle that they are in. So let's help them get back on their feet and back to what they are doing. So sisters, take it away. I've done more than enough talking.
You're so fun. Well, I was going to say, well, this is the true sisters too. When you think of Sisters of the Traveling Best, no one thinks of me or Cynthia. They think of Puddin' and Adele. These are the original girls, and they started traveling. I think our first trip was in 2019, and it was just a trip where Cynthia and I had known each other, but had never really known each other. She jumped in an RV with me and we drove across country together, which sounds crazy, but she had a foster and she wanted to see where the foster was going. And we went for over a week, traveled together, took her foster. And then that's kind of what started it. We both have time. We're both retired, or, we're dog moms, full-time dog moms. So the one thing we had to give is time. And we just said, well, we can travel. We traveled between Houston and South Florida, and we could do kind of that route. We did it a lot for a while.
Before we gave ourselves a name.
Yeah, before we gave ourselves a name. And then we have taken, like this past year, we took a little bit less time, but there were points where we were going more than once a month making the trip, which was a lot. But we have saved a lot of dogs, gotten them either to rescue.
Quite a few miles.
Cynthia used to have the miles. We should have known that.
Maybe I still do. I still do somewhere on my
It's
phone.
like a lot of miles we've
miles
been with the
and
girls.
dog names of who we've taken and where we've taken.
Yeah, and it's
too.
well over 100 dogs at this point.
Oh yeah,
like probably 200 or 300.
Yeah.
But we started one of the rescues here, and that's what it started, is Tender Loving Crested. So that's where our affiliation for these beautiful little naked babies. This is Cynthia's Rupert right here. He's a handsome guy.
And this is Adele. She came from Tender Loving Crested.
Tender Loving Crested. Yeah, she's a crested dog. I have 2 in my house. We have several from that rescue. But we started that first trip. Cynthia was a foster for True and Faith, or for Tender Loving Crested, and she took that one for them. And then we took it to Florida to True and Faithful, and now
we're with Lee.
Now we have dogs from lots of rescues. I don't know how this happens. Misty called it fail. I like to call it success. Fail, but
There you go. And Mitzi, you're currently now doing work also right now, correct me if I'm wrong, with Tender Loving Crested.
Yes, I'm the intake coordinator.
You are the intake coordinator. Yikes.
I try to be.
And how, please, for those that don't know, can you please walk us through what some of your main job duties are?
People will contact us that need to surrender a dog. And I'm usually the contact point where I visit with them, find out all I can about the dog, find out when they're ready to surrender, and make arrangements for that dog to travel. Sometimes it's Cynthia and Stephanie have brought dogs back to Houston from Florida.
Yeah.
We have sent dogs from here to Florida. They've picked dogs up along the way.
Exactly.
Florida and Houston.
Wow.
And then obviously there are dogs that come from other directions too. And I just coordinate someone, find volunteers that can help us get the dog, meet the surrendering party halfway, or I'll go pick them up, or, whoever's available.
Can you say, is there one factor, could you say, that seems to be the most prevalent when people are dumping their dogs? Is it, and Vasi and I have actually tackled this. We have had guests on the show who are new moms who had babies, because I've heard I'm having a baby, or I'm moving. But is there something more than not that you hear that people are saying is the reason why they have to give up their fur baby?
There are so many reasons. Divorce. Like you said, moving. I had a foster that came to me as a product of a divorce. And the husband did not want the dog, and the wife could not take the dog. She brought him to my house, and he was my foster for several months.
Wow.
I've got one that's coming in just a few days that she's changing jobs and more or less moving. She's going to start working on a cruise ship, and she'll be away for 9 months at a time. So
Okay.
there's no way for her, she can't take her dog with her. And there's no way she can ask someone to keep her dog for 9 months at a time.
This is
So,
very hard and very devastating.
Yeah.
yeah. And then there
was
are
great.
occasions
Some of
where
those
someone
dogs,
passes away, or either they're elderly and they get sick and can't care for the dog, or someone passes away and the rest of the family does not have any interest in keeping the dog. There's just so many reasons.
Wow. Wow.
Or they end up in a home. Like a lot of times older people have to go to a home and they don't allow the dogs in the home because there's no care for them. We've had quite a few. And the one I know that Fossey just showed some of the dogs, the two dogs together, the super cute smiling dog. That's mom and that's her baby. No, that's those two right there. That's Yossi and Izzy. Their owners, we worked with this family that was really sweet. And that's the one thing that I love about Mitzi is Mitzi is so kind and is a generous person. We can often say these people are dumping these dogs, but there is more than once when these people really struggle with it. They're trying to do what's right by these dogs. These two dogs here, the owners, she found the mom, the white dog that's on the right, and the dog ended up pregnant. Wow. And she had reached out to the rescue, and the girl on the right, the little girl, that was her baby, and her next door neighbors kept that baby. Well, there were 3 male dogs, and she reached out to us to help her take the male dogs and place them. And we took them last summer and they all got adopted. But this couple is now having to travel for 10 days at a time, and they can't leave the dogs home. And, they had a family member helping, but it wasn't healthy for the dogs. So they love them, but they know that they had to do right by them and give them up. So we're placing the 2 of them together because they've been together the whole time. But you never know the story. Like, you can kind of say no one could do it, but Mitzi is so sweet and always so gracious and loving to the people who surrender. And that's, I think, why we keep even connections with the people who surrender and make sure they know where the dogs end up too. With Tender Loving, for sure, there are so many owners that still reach out to us and say, hey, have you gotten a picture of whoever it is? And to me, that shows that the dog is coming from a loving home. It's just, it can't stay.
Yeah. And I think that this is a lot to say about the community you have built and the relationship. And it's just like you become like a big family. And I think it's really amazing. And I hope that everything what you're sharing with us will actually inspire a lot of other people, because I can tell you, I know cases, clients of mine, they gave some of their fur babies, and the people even told them, you gave it the baby, don't even ask who took them. And she's like, I want to know where the baby went. I just want to know that it's in a good home. And I think this is really very inspirational, everything what you mentioned. And I do have actually a question here for Mitzi. How many hours do you volunteer every day? I mean, I know that like when you volunteer, you pretty much kind of like, if you're very passionate in your lifestyle allows it, like, are you like helping every day?
If there's something to be done, as much as I can, it's a daily thing. Wow. There are days that, there's no need for me to call someone or arrange transportation or something. But when somebody calls, I try to take that call immediately and start working on it.
Amazing.
And I'll even say Mitzi is the first one. If a crested pops up on Pet Finder, on a social media site, on anything, Mitzi is like within 5 minutes sending a message, or I can see she's already on it. So she says that being modest, Mitzi is like,
she's on top of everything.
Yeah.
I have to give credit to,
she's got her ear to the ground.
I have to give credit to other people too, because a lot of times those dogs are referred to me. Someone will send me a picture of a dog and say, is this dog anywhere near you? Can you check on this dog?
Yeah.
And, if I have a way to contact that person, then that's what I do.
Incredible. Wow. I just everything. I mean, going from the amazing community, the amazing, like I would call it a network of people.
Village, definitely a village, a community.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Well, and the more we resources and the more contacts you have, like Mitzi, and then, I mean, social media has been a game changer for rescues because there are groups upon groups upon groups on Facebook and everything else that are breed specific or small dog or whatever. And if people know you do this, you're tagged 50 times a day.
Yeah, Stephanie.
Exactly.
Search twice a day your cell phone and devices.
Exactly. Hey, Stacy. Hey, Terry. Thank you, folks, for coming in and sharing this incredible show. This is a good one. We don't want to keep everyone on too long. So, Cynthia and Steph, please tell us a little bit about what we can expect in May. If you want to do a little comparison.
Yes. Okay.
Oh, look at this.
Now, this is one. So, spoiler alert, Camilla Rose. I don't know if
Camilla Rose, are you still with us? Are you still on?
That? That is her vest, and all whenever we go back live video. Now that was Zoe, who used to be Truffles, who was adopted from True and Faithful at Celebrity Catwalk. The next one.
Yes.
She was adopted last May at Paws in the City by Melanie. So of course she is part of our scene, and Cynthia went like overboard, beautiful with this skirt. Like, I want this dress for me. She's amazing.
Me too.
Exactly. We all want it. And then there's some, and this is Bitsy.
Bitsy.
Bitsy and Liesel. That one's Liesel, but I think the main one is Bitsy's. That is for my mom is actually coming to Celebrity Catwalk. So see, we just rescue and do fashion all together. As you can tell, hers is beehive. Again, the vest is there and Cynthia's upped her game. All the skirts are removable, where you can put them on or remove them if you just want them to wear a vest, but they're stunning. Like, she's totally next level on all the vests now.
I know.
Incredible.
I can even show you some of them.
Yes, you have there.
You see us? Here is Puddin', and Adele's right there. This is the original vest. That's what I was going to show you. Like, yep, they're cut up, they're frayed. And the one thing that is important about our vest too is it's all recycled materials, because they're for recycled dogs, because really a rescue is a recycled dog. So we use jeans and different skirts and stuff. So like
dresses apart.
Yeah, this is the one. Yeah, Cynthia takes dresses apart and then reassembles them for the dogs. This is the one that you saw for Truffles, like huge skirt. But the one thing is if the dog's just going out, they can just do their thing.
There you go.
That's
You go for that. Evening. Hey, Terry says beautiful work, Cynthia. Beautiful. Yes, the comments are coming in. Thank you, folks, for sharing.
Oh, awesome. And if you look, there's pins on it, and the pins are to the story that you give us with your dog. So whenever we choose that we're going to do your dog, we ask you to send us a story. So if you look at this as Zoe, and actually I did not ask Melanie for a story, but since I was her foster mom before Melanie got her, I was able to do it. So if you look, she's got all the states she lived in: South Carolina, she was in Mississippi with me, she came from California. So you have the state pins, but then there's also stuff like her name before Melanie got her was Truffles. So if you look at the inside of her vest,
Wow.
Truffles. We always try to do like fun stuff with it. And if you look, we have some rescues coming out of Georgia this time. And look, Cynthia made big ones this time. So these are some bigger dogs. And they're the Spudniks. Their names are Hash Brown and Sweet Potato. So we found potato fabric. But then she told us a little bit about her story. They go to Key West. So they have a camping and a Key West pin on theirs. And like everything is about what's them. They're from Georgia, so they have a peach. But whatever you tell us about your story, we try to incorporate to your vest. Like, here's another one. This is a tender loving crested adopted dog, is going to be in Paws in the City. Prince, this is him. And Prince and his sister Baby, who is a rescue as well, they were in the hurricane in Florida this past year, and kind of tragic. Debbie, their mom, did lose her home. So we have a rain cloud and a storm surge, because they were part of the hurricane. And Debbie can tell you the whole story when she's at Celebrity Catwalk and Paws in the City. But like, this is things of their personal journey that they had with their dog. And after you get your vest, we always encourage everyone. Lynn, I don't know if she's on.
Yes, she was.
Lynn,
Yes.
yeah. Avery Finn has collected several pins on his vest since he got his. And when they're out and about collecting pins, Lynn always picks up pins. So if you look on our girls have pins from Avery Finn too, which are super spirit. So it's like a whole fun thing to keep, to keep the fun that you do with your dog alive. Because I mean, like Puddins and Adele's, you can tell their pins are ridiculous.
They are traveling. They've got lots of stamps on their passport. Lots of stamps on their passport. I love it.
And Beans, Beans has been traveling with us for a long time. Beans is pretty full now too.
Wow, this is amazing. And I think that people better get ready to see some spectacular things. I really definitely love it. I love it. And also, would you accept, I'm sure that a lot of people like jeans, and would you accept maybe who want to donate some of their jeans during Celebrity Catwalk?
Oh, that's interesting. Will you take, can
So,
you?
jeans, I'm gonna let you look at Cynthia because I always buy lots of old jeans like at Goodwill, and then I brought her jeans. So if I give her more jeans, she may kill me. But if you have unusual things, because we have lots of denim, like we've tried to find things that are fun. So if you have old pants, like look, this was like a snakeskin jean. It's still jeans, but cute. And like, this was a cute pair of pink flowered pants.
Oh, so, amazing. Okay.
If it's something fun, then absolutely. But denim, if you bring us jeans, Cynthia may kill me.
Okay. Well, at least now in
interesting denim. Interesting denim.
Okay.
But we love old recycled stuff because again, like for us, we think that recycled dogs should have recycled materials. So we try to find stuff at, thrift stores or anything else, our fabric and stuff to redo. Those are some from our very first show. The Peanut and Pooh.
Wonderful. Look at those.
Misty Lynn. Sean is watching. Misty Lynn is in the scene this time. Super excited.
That's right, Shauna. Okay.
Yeah, we have some fun. And then we do have fun with the fabric too. Like the one thing is the under fabric, we always try to make it as part of the story. So like if you see the under fabric will always have some kind of significance or meaning. This is for Squiggles. This is a true and faithful rescue, but her name is Squiggles. So Cynthia found this super cute squiggle material, which is kind of fun. Squigglies. Yeah, there's always meaning to everything. It's not normally thrown together. There's some kind of piece of something we learned about you or the dog that we try to incorporate.
That's absolutely, talk about couture. True. If you look up the definition of couture, and if you look up the definition of what it means and how it's truly handmade, and look at the stories that these pieces are telling, absolutely incredible.
Yes, I do agree with you. I'm very inspired. It's like so incredible, amazing. And I really hope that whoever watched this or listen or
exactly. Vasi, I think we got you frozen, but as you get unfrozen, we will continue. Absolutely incredible. Well, Mitzi, you know what the next thing is. You're gonna have to eventually make your way.
Yes.
I keep hearing that.
That is the next thing. We're gonna have to get you. We're gonna have to get you in our direction. Mitzi, please tell people where they can, if you want to be found on social media or your group, where can people find you on social media, or really find your rescue group on social media?
Okay, Tender Loving Crested Rescue on Facebook is probably the quickest way to get in touch with us in some form. I can give out, I don't mind giving my rescue email address.
Okay, yes, your rescue email, please.
Not my personal one, but my rescue email address.
Please. Yes.
It's Mitzi, Mitzi, at ChineseCrestedRescue.org.
Okay.
Yes. So Mitzi at ChineseCrestedRescue.org.
Right.
Mitzi at ChineseCrestedRescue.org.
Yes.
Excellent.
And there are several of us that watch the messenger, the Facebook Messenger messages. There are several of us that watch that. So it'll give an auto response, but either Mitzi, are you on that too?
I'm not sure that I'm on there.
Okay.
I know
Maybe
me and
I
Cindy
need to
are, you
add
can ask
on.
questions there. And if we don't know, like if Mitzi has the answer, we all communicate in a group
Yeah.
message to get answers to people who have questions.
Right.
Nice, nice. Yeah, everyone's saying it's storming in Florida. Wow, Florida people all are getting it. I'm seeing the response.
Told you.
Oh,
I told you that's why
Oh,
we're
that's
losing
why you're-
internet. It's like it's here, it's God. It's the rain storming. I mean, we had some floods over the past couple of days here in my area. So thank God at least for now the rest of the states are good. I mean, crazy Florida by default. But I want to thank you also for coming today and for everything what you do for our community. And I truly hope that whoever watched it, everyone also is going to share, or whoever listened, it really got inspired to see that it's great to go above and beyond. It's wonderful, and it's a fantastic idea to try to continue building the community, continue, keeping in touch with the people who adopted fur babies, and just really be part of this network. And
absolutely, absolutely.
And the
Head over
designs
to
are
Sisters
amazing.
of the Traveling Vest if you haven't already done so. The auction is still happening. When does the auction end, ladies?
I'm running them from Sunday to Sunday. So there's the one that's going on right now will end Sunday at noon. And then I think I will have one more. I think I have enough to do one more at least. It seems like everybody's having fun with it, and not everything gets bid on. So if something doesn't get bid on, we may do like a last ditch when everything's done. So, but there's some cute stuff in there right now for sure.
So there you go, folks. Head over to Sisters of the Traveling Vests if you haven't already done so. Check out their auction items. Help them get there. Have you all gotten a cost appraisal on what it's going to cost to get the van back on the road?
Yeah, kind of, but not completely. Right now, it's still in the body shop. The way that it worked is the insurance, kind of just totaled it, but they let me keep it and are giving me an amount. I have to see when they finish at the body shop, when I take it to the mechanic, what that entails. And the body shop was I'm trying to be very cost conscious because that's who I am. The body shop paint was a little high. So I'm trying to find someone else who can do it for less. So not all the way yet. Like I'm still trying to see how much it's going to be. And I'm trying to literally stage stuff so that we can make it as reasonable. Because again, I mean, it's our rescue truck. It's not, if any of you have ever been in it, it's not fancy. Poor Stacy has the back of it. If she's still, my mom and my sister have ridden in the back of it. There's 2 seats. So if there's more than 2 people, someone's in the back. It's very stripped down, and we like it that way because nothing breaks. And then we don't have to invest money, but it does have to be safe because it's usually us 2 traveling. And we are strong women. We have definitely had some interesting journeys on our way, but we do need to feel like that it's a sound vehicle to jump in the car and drive 1,200 miles.
Of course.
Incredible what you do. It's absolutely incredible. Well, hopefully everyone will join your groups and everything else. I made sure, we have all the links so people can come and say hi. I also want to say that noon Central Time, because you're in, your time zone is Central.
Yes.
But this is important. So if you are friends from California, your Pacific time, it means 2 hours difference. So keep this in mind. Keep this in mind.
My friends
And
on the East Coast are an hour ahead of us.
yeah, we're an hour. Yes, exactly. Oh my God, it's so beautiful. It just really uniting the community, being so united because we love fur babies, and passion and fur babies and giving back. I think it's amazing. Thank you. It's the best for sure. Yes, thank you very, very much.
Thank you very, very much. Thank you. Thank you, Mitzi. Thank you, Sisters of the Traveling Vest.
Thank you so much for everything you do. Thank you. Bye.
Thank y'all for having